Yo, how's it going everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And today we're looking at another top 10 underrated video, and this is somewhat inspired for my current love of hardcore classic WoW. And we're doing the top 10 underrated caves. And just so we're clear, it's vanilla to northern, not just vanilla WoW. So yeah, just so you're aware. Anyway, before we get right into it, I just want to say I see a lot of people actually watching these videos, which is so awesome. But not a lot of you are subscribing. It'd be really cool if you just take that 1 second and hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot. It means that we can do a lot more, put more work into these videos and dedicate more time for making more content for you. And I love doing that. Trust me, it's a lot of fun. But yeah, anyway, forget all that. Just hit subscribe. Comment below if you have any suggestions for more top 10 underrated series. I love doing these. They're my favorite. But anyway, let's just get right into it. Number 10. All right, so for number 10, I wanted to kick this list off with one of the more unique caves. And that's the cave above Cliff Spring Falls in Darkshore. And to be honest, the actual layout of the cave is nothing unique. You'll probably run across 100 caves like this with the same layout. But what makes this cave so unique is that it actually lies behind a waterfall. I think it's one of the few, maybe even the only cave in the game that sits behind a waterfall. If there's others, I'm not too sure. Maybe comment below if you guys know of other caves that are, behind waterfalls just like this. So why this made the list is not because of the actual layout, it's where it's located and how it's located behind this waterfall. Nothing special. I think there's only like one quest that gets you in here where you got to collect these mushrooms on the floor. And I think there's a couple like cultists that you kill in here that might drop a quest as well. I'm not entirely sure. I was in this cave just a couple days ago on my hardcore character, and I think I remember seeing a drop quest from the cultists that live in the back of these caves. But yeah, the cave above Cliff Spring Falls is number 10. Purely because it sits behind a waterfall. And I think that's really cool. 9. Number 9 sees us heading out to Outland, to Nagrand, and it's the caves atop of Warmall Hill. Now, there might be a couple of these on the list, but this makes it because I love a multi-cave system. You've got the cave at the lower end, which is a normal cave. You'll see this layout all over the world. Same with the cave when you go up, and that's to the right. That also has a very similar layout to almost every ogre cave in the game. But if you go to the left, you'll see a much bigger cave. And this is the one I kind of want to focus on a bit more. It has multiple levels. It's got some brutal imagery inside, like chains hanging, like bloody chains, and just kind of like gory, It has like this real I want to say like the ring of blood is right there. So it kind of has that whole feel of like people get killed in here. And then you go all the way up and you see this huge dude named Chowar. Maybe he's related to Cho'Gall, I can't remember, but you've got to go up, you've got to kill him. There are actually quite a few quests here, and some tricky ones. You've got elite quest. Chowar is an elite as well. You've got the Gron roaming around that could easily pick you off, but it's a really cool not dungeon, but cave system to have in Nagrand. I love the fact that it's kind of on the back end of Nagrand, and also they're like the big cave I'm talking about, you come out the other end, which is kind of hanging over Zanger Marsh. You just overlook Zanger Marsh. I think it's a really interesting design for a cave, and definitely worth a go if you're in Nagrand questing, which most people are because everyone loves Nagrand. So yeah, the caves atop Warmall Hill will take number 9. 8. So for number 8, we're going all the way back to Teldrassil, to the Night Elf starting zone, and this is Beneful Hollow. Ethel. I think there might be a little pause there. There is an apostrophe, but who cares? And I know what you're going to say. This is a den, not a cave. And I'm going to say, I don't really care. It's my list. We're including these on the caves, all right? These are cave systems, I guess. They look like them. But anyway, this is the bane of the Night Elf starting zone players. I can't, recall how many people die in this place, including myself. I've died on a couple characters in this place. It's a very confusing cave, man. This is probably what, like, out of all the starting zone areas, this has the most confusing cave out of them all. I always get lost no matter how many times I'm in this place. There's quite a few quests where you got to kill this Rage Claw Druid guy, like some evil druid dude. I don't really know his story too much, but there's a couple other named NPCs. You gotta like open boxes, collect things. Yeah, there is quite a handful of quests. So you kind of have to go here if you are a night elf, and there's a good chance you might die. I'm gonna let you know right now. I think my first like kind of test hardcore character, I went in here and died. Yeah, embarrassing. But this place is confusing. It is awesome though. It gets you lost in the world, so that's why I like it so much. It is a very unique cave, especially for a beginning zone like this, and that's why it's made the list. So yeah, number 8, Beneful Hollow in Thistlefur. 7! Number 7 has us heading to one of my favorite zones in the entire game, and that's Loch Modan. And these are the caves that sit atop Stone Splinter Valley. Now you're gonna say this place, it's kind of lame. It's Troggs. I've mentioned this before in other videos. Everybody hates Troggs, but it's another multi-cave system. Yeah, I know, one of the caves is literally like nothing. It's just one singular room, and the other cave is kind of just a pathway to come out the other side to come back down to the valley. It's still a cave, but the third cave is a big cave. It's got a quite huge layout to it. It's got multiple bosses in there that you're gonna need to kill, like these 3 dudes that are just sitting here scratching their ass all day. You've got another boss you gotta kill behind them as well. It's got waterfalls, a river running through it. It does have I'd say it has the same layout as most caves in the game, but it's like they've added a couple extra sections to it, which make it number 7 on the list. You're gonna go here, especially if you're on a hardcore server, you're leveling Alliance, you're gonna wanna hit this place. There's a load of grind quests to do in this little spot. So you will be familiar with this, whether you like it or not, if you're playing Alliance, and you might run through this if you're Horde heading to Ultimate or Badlands. So definitely take a look at it. It's not the most visually appealing, but it made it number 7 because it's a place that, everyone goes to, but no one really talks about, probably because of Troggs. To hell with Troggs. Alright, anyway, that's number 7. 6. Number 6 on this list can be found in Shadowmoon Valley, and that's the Death Forge. And to be honest, guys, I try not to put a whole load of Outland and Northern things on these classic lists, even though I do consider it classic WoW, but I just couldn't resist. Just the name alone would get it on this list. The Death Forge just sounds badass. But this place is badass. It's filled with demons, elementals, warlocks. If you go down all the way to the bottom, you'll see a group of warlocks trying to summon something. I know there's a quest that you have to go and disrupt what they're doing, but you keep going further in, and it's another place that once you think you got to the end, there's always more to go. There's just loads of warlocks. You got multiple quest lines to come in here. You even get a key, and you know how much I love keys. Go check out some of my key lore stuff. Anyway, you get the Death Forge key to keep progressing further into this cave. Just like the overall evil feel about this cave. You really, when you get into this place, you really feel like you're in danger. Kind of similar, to some of the other places you'll see on this list, but it just has a very spooky feel to it. Some of the demons in here just look bonkers. You've got these crazy vents shooting up green fell fire and stuff. It's just like, it's a place that if you're probably not going to come because you're gonna get to Northern before you actually really get to Shadowmoon Valley anyway. But if you want to go out of your way and do this stuff, it is worth doing these quests. I think you also get a pretty nice quest reward at the end. And if you're a key collector, similar to myself, you must do this place because you get your Death Forge key. So, the Death Forge is number 6 on the list. Super, super cool place. Definitely worth a check out. 5. So number 5 is all the way in Winterspring, and it's the massive ice caverns of Maz Tharill. And you're probably most familiar with this place because it's a place you go to during the Onyxia storyline quest, the Attunement quest. And it's a pretty cool place. It's not my favorite. The beginning of this cave is like a very similar layout to any other caves, but as you go in, it does get really cool. You do end up in this massive boss-like room with two big dragons, Manaclaw and I think it's Scythe or Scryer or something. I can't remember his name. He's right here, even though... Anyway, it's this guy. You end up in this big room with these massive dragons. There's dragon whelps everywhere, and it's got a pretty cool layout. There's split roads you can go down. It's a good place to come farm thorium if you're not afraid of elites, or if you're maybe already level 80 and you want to level your mining or you're about to level mining. It's a good place to come farm. Yeah, it's just really cool. I mean, maybe don't go out of your way to come here, but if you're in this area, if you're in Winter Spring, come down, check this place out. It's even got a teleport rune where you can teleport back up and down from the lady or the guy that gives you part of the Onyxia storyline attunement quest. So it's an easy way to get out of here if you do get stuck all the way at the very end. So yeah, it is a really, really cool cave. Is it my favorite? No, but it does deserve to be at number 5. So yeah, Master Rill, number 5. 4! So number 4 on this list is in the Storm Peaks, and this is going to be the only entry from Northrend on this list, and that's Loken's Bargain. This place is so cool, and if there's any of these caves that are considered not a cave on this list, it would be this one. This is probably the least cavey cave on this list. It's actually a Titan kind of like compound, a Titan little area. So it's more of a Titan structure, but it is going under caves, okay? There's stalagmites and stalactites. Those are found in caves. But anyway, you can see that it's kind of just a hole on the side of the mountain, and that's basically the entire reason I love this. You need a flying mount to get in here. You can't just walk up in here and get your way in. You've got to fly in, and not only fly in, but you've got to maneuver yourself all the way. You fly in and go down into this like structure thing here. And you see all these Titan, the Titan text on the floor. I think it's like the Titan, I don't know, relics and stuff. I don't know what you would actually call it. You've got these stone elemental guys walking around, and then I think the only reason you come here is to kill this guy at the very end. It's very cool. You've got you can't really it's got like an invisible wall, so you can't really go anywhere else other than this path. But if you just look out, it's got some amazing visuals, and it's just a really, really cool place. It's very mechanical looking, I guess. It's very Titan looking. I love Titan stuff in this game. And it makes this list purely really for the way you get in and out, and the fact that it's just a hole, literally a hole on the side of the mountain that you've got to go in. So if you're in Storm Peaks, which I'm sure you are if you've played Wrath, it's like the best zone up until Wrath. I would say it's probably the best zone in the game. I love Storm Peaks. You will go to this place, and you might hang out in here. Who knows? It's a really, really interesting place to have a look, and maybe just sit and look over the side of the mountain. So yeah, anyway, Loken's Bargain is number 4. 3! Number 3 is actually one of my favorite places in the entire game, and that's Thistlefur Hold in Ashenvale, and you get there by fighting your way through Thistlefur Village. And it's a really cool place because it lies atop of this hill. You gotta fight your way through all these guys just to get there, and once you get there, it's this massive den-like structure. You've got this kind of bear head for the entrance, and once you get in there, you've got a few quests. You've got to pick stuff up. It has a few levels. I think it's like 2 levels, an upper and a lower level. Loads of things to fight in there, and once you get to the back, there's an escort quest, which takes kind of forever because it's a classic escort quest. But yeah, it's a really, really unique place and a really cool place for such a low level area. And I recommend anyone leveling in Ashenvale or near there, or maybe even go out of your way, go check this place out. It's huge. Well, kind of big. It's big for low level, and I include like the whole village with it. It's just a really cool experience, and it's a really fun place to go quest. So yeah, Thistlefur Hold is number 3, and I love this place. 2. Number 2 on this list, and this might be the most intimidating cave on this entire list, and it's the Slag Pit that's located inside the cauldron within Searing Gorge. And why is this place so intimidating? I mean, first of all, it's loaded, littered with mobs. All types of mobs, from dark iron dwarves to these like dragon, I forget what these are called, these little like Spinosaurus guys. You've got the steam vents popping up. This room with these dragon dude, these dinosaur dudes just look so awesome. It's got multiple entries, so you don't have a singular way to get in here. I think there's 3, maybe even 4 different entrances to this cave, and it all connects into this one giant room that you can see. I think this is probably one of the caves that has the most detail as well in all of, let's say, vanilla classic WoW. Just look at the rocks. I mean, they look really, really good. It's easy to get lost in this place. It's easy to die, and it's, you know, after Burning Crusade came out, they did make this place a little bit easier to solo as a player, but it can still provide a great deal of difficulty. And just looking at it from the inside out, it looks just intimidating. It's a place that as a new player, you're like, do I really want to go in there? Yes, you do. Trust me, you do. But this is also one of my favorite caves. If it is a cave, favorite cave structure in all of Azeroth, including retail. This is such a cool little section in the game. Highly recommend that when you get to the right, level, come do the quest here, check it out, and you'll feel like you're in a proper hellhole. All right, so that's number 2, is the Slag Pit in Searing Gorge. And number 1. All right, so here we are, number 1. It's all the way in Felwood, and that's Jadenar. I can't explain how much I love this place. It might be top 1, top 2, definitely top 3 places in the old world for me, especially because I used to play a Warlock on the relaunch of Vanilla, so I'm very familiar with this place. And it has a couple cave-like places, but the one we're actually going to be focusing on right now is the one that's all the way in the back. This cave is huge. I don't know if it's like the biggest cave in the game or in classic. When I mean classic, I mean maybe vanilla. I think there might be some bigger ones in Northrend and stuff, but this place is huge. And at any time you think the cave, okay, you're like, oh, this has to be the end of the cave. Nope, it just keeps on going. It just keeps on going, and it gets, so long. You gotta, by the time you get even halfway, respawns are already happening. So you're gonna be in this place for a very long time. And especially if you're a Warlock, you've got to go all the way to the end a couple times to talk to that Dreadlord. I mean, anyone can go back there, but he's only friendly to Warlocks. Keep that in mind. There's loads of quests in here. There's an escort quest. The place is just filled with demons. And like I said, once you think you've got to the end, there's probably a bit further you can go. Once you get to the Dreadlord all the way at the end, that's when you know you have finished this place. That's when you know you're actually at the end of this cave. But just be ready to fight everything you just killed on the way back out. So yeah, anyway, number 1 could be my favorite, or definitely one of my top 3 favorite places in all of the old Azeroth. That's Jadenar. Alright, so that was my top 10 underrated caves in Classic WoW. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, these are a lot of fun for me to do. And if you have any, suggestions for more of these kind of videos, just comment below. I would happily do more of these. I've got a few lined up, but I would love to do more in the future. Just give me some ideas, throw them below. But anyway, please don't forget to subscribe. I'm trying to get to that 200 number. We're not that far away. It's like, 14 or 15 subscribers away. Let's hit that number on this video, please. Let's go. Anyway, stay tuned. I've got more videos coming out. Check out my lore. I'm doing more lore videos. I hope you guys all enjoy those. And anyway, I'll see you all in my next one. Peace.